bringing it back. It's nope. It's yeah. There we go. Well, yeah, it's that part's a bummer. It's weird because I had a video. I've actually had a bunch of videos uploaded to the channel over the past month with no bots, none in the comments. I don't know if it's because YouTube actually picked up with Slack and abolished them, or I just blocked them or something. But there was some form of time that they didn't show up, and I was like, cool. Then it showed up yesterday, and I'm like, dang it, we're back at the square one. All right, dangerous as I may be, I'm going to pour another bag of little pieces here, just so I have actually remembering what I need, and some of them I do right now. So I was still building for a little bit of that time frozen outside of the stream. So really, it was only just a couple of plates here and there. Not a whole step or anything. There's one gray brick I just can't find. And it's probably right here in this bag. It is exactly where it is. It's the thing I said. So, yeah. So we are back. We are moving through bag 4, aka book 3 of 3. The finale. The penultimate of the Parisian restaurant. Sad to say, if I may interject with myself for a second, weird as that may be, this would not have happened, or at least not have happened as catastrophically, if it was on Kevin's channel. I'm just putting it out there. So, as somebody who's fueled by trying to finish what he started, little guilt on that. I'm trying to bring it back through. And I know that he's not watching by this point, but still, that was the premise. That was the goal, and I still meet that goal. It's just a very, very weird way to get there. But you got me in the big screen. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay. I hope the artwork looks better in the big screen too. That would be very cool. Thank you, Brett's Builds. Thank you, Downtown Bricks. Thank you, Anchor Dragon 114, and thank you, Christina, for bearing with that interruption from that. Did I not jinx myself? I'm pretty sure I jinxed it. I talk too much. It's almost like a Beetlejuice sort of thing, right? Or it's like I talked enough about him and he just came out. We called it the Jersey Devil, but the Handsome Devil I was referring to earlier. Boy, he must have enjoyed that. I really don't know how much further to make that as a character, but it's, aside from it just being a minifigure sitting on my desk. Like I want to do more with that. I want to do more with like story stuff in the Lego City itself. I've had that in my head for a good year to try that. It just takes a bit more, scripting behind the scenes to bring it together. And also scripting also involving the, where am I filming in the city? What am I actually, what's built? Where are people placed? So there's a lot of that would take a lot more work than just a pan across the city as I would normally have done. And there's nothing wrong with that. Many people do that, and it's still cool. It's just I'm just thinking, like, I hope it would work in a way that would be more interesting. I got you. And I got you. Well, no, I didn't. I mean, I may have earlier, but now I'm not. Oh, dang it, I put these pieces in the wrong way. I need a brick separator. I have like 3 in front of me. I'll use 2 of them. One's on the other shelf, but still counts as in front of me. There we go. I never worry about nicks on the pieces, especially from my own fingernails, because some of the pieces already have that. Like, there was one of the plates that I was using, I think it was on the floor of this building, that that had a little cut on the corner, and I'm like, it's not great. Now I know that it's there, but I'll live. So was it not that piece? It goes there? Was it this then? Yeah, okay, it was. Okay, pay more attention to the instructions then. Hey, being on the big screen, being on someone's widescreen TV in their home, that's an honor. That is like trophy status if I ever if there was an award for it. I think that would count. Or that is the award. I'm not sure. Kind of. See, all right. we'll work our way back. Oh, it's in there. Ah, yes, the place I didn't look. But we will get there. Now, there are people who would have organized all the pieces in a given bag. A matter that many people call knolling. KNOLLING. I'm not one of those people, clearly. Because I'm so excited, I just want to get right into building it. I don't worry about, I want to spend another, however long to sort the pieces. And even though the instructions do encourage that, it's something that I never really think of when just going in and building a Lego set. I'm like, the sorted and numbered bags is probably not that many pieces. It's not that bad. Find them. And then I have the modulars, and, maybe it takes a little bit more effort. Oh, I gotta build 3 of these. Or at least it tells me up front. But still, I gotta build 3 of these. 3? Huh. I thought it would be 2. Maybe 1 stacks on top or something. Or on the side of it. Do they go? I'm gonna look at the back. I'm gonna look at the box. Oh, it goes across all 3. Okay. I see. Oh, okay. It's not in the spot where I thought it would go. That's... No! I lost the piece again. Please don't tell me I lost it for real. And, I mean, it's not a piece I need immediately, but it is a piece I need soonish. Looks like. Has my head interfered with the chat again? Is that it? Did it really wander that far down? Oh. I may have pushed it further. You know, it's not really the best thing for a small room like this to be losing pieces that I have to go digging like a mole to find it. Okay, what if I move this entire box? Bubba Bricks, welcome to the stream, buddy. And so Connor is lurking in the background. I hear you. I see you. I believe in you. So it's going all right, except for the fact that I had to restart the stream, and I now have a piece lost under one of these boxes. A box, mind you, that is full of stuff that I'm not ready to move. Somehow it's there. I think. There's a bunch of other pieces in here. Wow. I don't need them right now, but still. That'll help for later. Outside of the Prarisian restaurant. Shoot. I can't. If I move it that way. I'm not imagining things. I know it went under there. Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe I know that it fell. Maybe it didn't go under there, though. Did I jinx myself again? I probably did. I know that there are streams that they actually do this as a thing of trying to mess with the streamer. I am doing this in a single room on my own, messing with myself, not on purpose. Man. All right, so I'm not gonna. I know what piece it is, and I'm not gonna worry about it until I need it. And if I looked at the box, or if I looked at the front of the instructions correctly, I won't need it for a little bit longer. Not like at the end of the build, but not close enough to be a hindrance. So I'm going to put one of those on the side. I'm going to put this whole bag over here because too close to the edge. And we'll try that. There's Cy O'Connor! Welcome to the stream, buddy! I knew he was nearby. I saw one or two things. And there we go. Is it in my shoe? You know what? We should rule that out. Taking off the shoe. I gave away a shoe earlier in the stream. So funny that you mentioned that. It is not in the shoe. But hey, it was worth checking. It did land near the shoe. Did you need an invite link? Now that we have another stream going on? I could send one. And thank you both about the birthday wishes. Yeah, this is a hardwood floor, so they do bounce. They really want to bounce. All right, I'm going to build some of that, and then I'm going to move on to this. So at least I have some pieces together, and won't fall onto the floor, please. I was good earlier in the stream. There was like one or two that fell, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just, it fell flat almost. And then there was like one or two that I caught before they fell to the floor. This one had to be the one that got away, huh? Hey, Kellen, welcome to the stream. Let me get everybody up here. So new people in here. We got Bubba Bricks. We got Cy O'Connor. We got Kellen. And we got Samson7180. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. I greatly appreciate it. Even if you're stopping in for a minute, it means the world to me. I may or may not have hurt my arm trying to find the piece before, even though I didn't actually find it. But just leaning down. Like I said, this is not a spot I wanted to crawl underneath the table trying to find a Lego piece. And dang it, this is one of my favorite Lego pieces too. So I mentioned earlier well, not in this stream, but the earlier stream, when I was building earlier today, because this is like the third stream today now. The first one practically didn't happen. I mentioned earlier about one of my least favorite Lego pieces. And so here is the piece that fell. This is just another copy of it from the bag. But this is actually one of my favorite Lego pieces. Because I used to play around with this one all the time, trying different shapes, different techniques. And it just seems like a fun piece. It really offered me a lot of inspiration. And to a degree, it still does. I do love Erlings, though. I like Erlings. I like the jumper tiles. Can't get enough of those. Yeah, today started out a bit rough, but that was before the stream. And things are a little turbulent with the stream, but they've been better. This is definitely better up to this point. And hopefully after the stream it'll get better too, because I gotta have dinner. Birthday dinner. Yeah, I really twisted my arm, didn't I? I can feel it. My right arm. Something around like the shoulder area. Maybe I just moved too fast with it. But it might also be something before the stream, because I did have that feeling in my arm the other day. Like yesterday or so. I'm sure it'll work its way out. Streaming until I finish the build, exactly. So at this point, I don't think it's going to be much longer. I would say maybe the next hour or so. Because this is only the top floor and it doesn't seem too bad. Unless we have more delays like that. I don't know. Jury's still out on that one. Yep, Jeff, we're still going. We had a little catastrophic failure with the last stream, so I had to close it and then reopen as a third stream. But we're on the third floor, so we're getting there. Bam, bam, busy. Some nice work there. I did try to keep all the feather pieces together, facing the right way, overlapping. So I dig it. I like it. I like that this is not only like a solid structure, but also just a neat design and kind of just, you know, pulls everything together. What I don't like is that it's you know, thick in a space that's pretty thin. Because there's not a lot of extra walking space in there, as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because that would be nice if it was still, like, using the interior very well. I keep looking at it and thinking I could do more with that space, but maybe not. Maybe it's a bit different. Oh no, here we go. I need the piece. I need the piece that fell. And I don't know where it went. And it doesn't help that there's already pieces loosely on the floor. So, you know, it can get lost between them. I guessed before that it fell and went forward like under the table further. I'm going to do a quick thing right here, just to be sure. See how many of these things are actually in the set. Because I think they're all in the same spot. 8. Yeah, okay. They're all in the same spot. I have 2 sitting up here already. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Careful not to drop the rest of them. Yeah, okay. There is definitely still one on the floor, which I will have to do something about. Because I will need it soon. Like, very soon. Is it under one of these other units? I have like 3 drawer units underneath this table. So, it's possible it got stuck under one of them. But I did already look through one and didn't find it. Nope. Let's try this one. Not as much leeway, huh? Yeah, so if I can hire an interior designer to figure out how to make this a Lego room that's actually functional, I will be up for it. I will put money down today. Because golly, doing it myself is not... Yeah, it needs a lot of work. It is not under there. It is not under there either. Are you serious? Yeah, it is serious. And I will... Wait! I think I saw something. What was that? Was that the piece? Alright. Backup plan. I do have another one of those pieces nearby. It's just in another Lego set. I don't know if it feels... what's the word? Disingenuous? Not genuine. I don't know if it feels not genuine of replacing it from a piece that didn't come with the bag, because it clearly came with the bag. But then again, I did replace an entire 8x16 plate that was not in any of the bags. So, maybe I should do that and move on from there. It's a shame. It's not even like, oh, it was in a loose Ziploc bag or anything. It was, oh, I just dropped it. And I guarantee by the time this thing is done, it will show up. It will just... Replace it, you can fix it later. Okay. We're on to that. So, we're going to have to say bye-bye to the 3D printed Iron Man then. Literally just the top of it as the piece. It's okay, I gotta fix the whole Iron Man setup anyways. That is its own, from what we saw earlier, has its own thing to take care of. I don't think it matters. Okay. You can put a BRB screen until you find it if that's less pressure. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Probably should have. Yeah, I had no idea if it actually mattered, because I know some people do care about that stuff if it's like 100% from the set. Not only that, but, you know, it was in my hands. It was right there. So, yeah, we'll keep moving. So I gotta build 2 of these. These are really nice when they're done, but I just wish that piece was available. It's like these really nice crests that go over part of the walls. It's a really nice idea. Really nice building techniques. One thing I would love to learn in general is, like, as far as Lego building technique. Oh, I saw it fall out of my lap. I am not moving an inch. I'm just rotating in the chair, and I grabbed it. Good. So I have, if I had to learn one special kind of like building techniques, I would love to learn, like really like sit down with someone and learn, or just focus on only building that. Is learning how to build letters with Lego bricks, because those are fantastic, and so like they add so much more to a model, and they're done in a lot of clever ways, and that would be something I would love to embrace more. I've never done it for my own building. I've read about it here and there, but I haven't really get like the gist of it to do it myself up to this point. It's more of like, oh, those are pieces and they go together. And when I put pieces together, it takes a lot of math. There's a lot involved with it, depending on where you're placing it, how big the letters are, and what letters you're using, and trying to fit them all together. Like whatever word you're trying to spell out of it. And if it's going to be built into the building itself, or it's going to be on a sign outside of the building. Like, I've built it, I want to say, in like one set. I don't know if I've built it in any other sets. But I've definitely built it in the comic book shop sign from Ninjago with the Ninjago City. And that's really well done. And that's really nicely done. But if you asked me to try to build that myself, I was like, I need a little more time for that. Where is that tile? Is it in here? I'm gonna hold it away. I don't trust it anymore. Keeps dumping. It keeps dumping pieces out. You know what? I'm gonna dump it on top. There. Now I can't lose them if they're. No, I probably would. We'll see. So I'm trying to look for a. Oh, there it is. Just as I call it out, I found it. Be gone, bot! I need to make that a thing. That would be fun. Still hydrated. Yeah, no. Let me see if I can get rid of that. And reported. I don't even know what you said after that, but okay. Now I just got Queens, the show must go on stuck in my head. It's like all these trials and tribulations. I'm still building. Keep building. I don't even know which one was from the Iron Man set. Don't tell him. If I even knew. I don't think I'd tell. Maybe I would. But yeah, this set makes a lot of use of like fender pieces, mud guards, whatever they're called, for like archways. Getting that like that outer sculpture around the building, which is cool. Oh, that's the good stuff. It's one thing for these to connect together like that and almost form like a perfect oval. That's the good stuff. They just perfectly align behind each other. Oh, whoops, I put two pieces. It turns out I need another piece or two. That's why there was a hole on top of it. Alright. Alright. There we go. Got it. And then on this side, do the same thing. Whoop. There we go. Stellar. Almost. Well, yeah, they don't perfectly line up for some reason. But I like it. I still like it. Now we need the croissants and the clams. The shells. I like to think that the people who run this place have like a French descent, and not only for the Parisian restaurant on the bottom level, but like maybe the floors above it, or people who had lived there, and they're just like, oh yeah, we are embracing our heritage, and we are sculpting croissants into our artwork, into our architecture. We like our beaches, and so we give you clam and shell. And we like our food, so we give you croissant. I don't know, maybe. Something like that. Oh, that was close. I thought a whole bunch of pieces were going to go flying. Okay, good. Still rolling. I'm just making sure we're still going. Because I thought it froze for a moment. That one instead. To find the panel. There it is. It was upside down. That's why I didn't see it. I need a stool. It's actually a lot of good modular stuff. Like between like just the rooms of the modulars or the architecture, I still like looking at them even though I don't own many of them or haven't planned buying many of them, just because they have neat stuff to offer. Bloop. 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 Wait, bloop. There we go. Bloop. Bloop. And bloop. And the art fits in there. Cool. We need 4 of those. Hey, Multigasm Geek, welcome to the stream, buddy. Glad you could make it. So, for today, I am building the last floor of the Prarisian restaurant. Well, technically, I was building the first 2. I was building the second and third floors because some of the first was there. This is finishing up a Lego set that was from Kevin Hinkle's backlog that did not get finished on stream, and I am doing the service of finishing the build now through almost 2 live streams because there was an upset on the last one. There's just one tile I'm missing. Please don't tell me it's on the floor. Please tell me it's right in front of the face. Has not shown up in the face yet. Oh, that's why, because it was upside down. All right, got it. And earlier I had done 2 Lego giveaways to some people who were joining in the stream. At this point, I don't know. I didn't really plan on doing a 3rd giveaway. But I will still have giveaway stuff available for other times. So yeah, otherwise it's going good so far. No, don't jinx it. The turntable fell over earlier, and a couple of pieces fell off with it. A couple figures. It's a hot dog cart that's sitting halfway between the table and the floor. Most of the Iron Man stuff, it just fell over. Only some of it actually fell off, and a little bit on the floor. I'm also glad up to this point, and okay, hopefully I don't jinx it by now. I'm also glad up to this point that I haven't had any pieces break on me. And now they will. Because it's how this channel works. Like, I was really concerned earlier about the reddish-brown plates and bricks in general, and none of them broke. Not a one. I was expecting that even in a brand new condition, they might slip and break. Because it easily could have. There is still a dark brown in here, so jury's not out yet. YouTube notifications work this time. Hey! Awesome. I don't know if it was getting wonky because of the multiple streams in one day from the same channel, or I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. And it's not like I was intentionally trying to make multiple streams. I just, encountered errors that couldn't have been fixed in the same broadcast. So I had to move along. I'm just shout out to the fan right above me, because this would have been so much worse without circulating air. It would have been way hotter in here. Because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the cool air. I am grateful for it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is a. I mean, this is a pretty interesting section. That it's like a whole floor, but it's also it's almost like an attic, where it's like a floor, but it's also a roof. So a lot of the construction here feels different compared to the other floors before it. I mean, it could be number one fan. Got him. Good pun. Good pun. Also, shout outs to that fan for not knocking over all of the stuffed minifig plushes that are on the shelf around it, because it's very close to them just by its placement for where the fan is and where the shelf is, but none of them have fallen over yet. Good. I mean, luckily. Um, I didn't put the shelves in. They've already been there when we moved in. My elbow is really hating that table. We're hating that turntable. Doesn't have to. But yeah, with that the shelves that were in this room were already put in, so I just made the best of them instead of trying to completely unbolt them and move them somewhere else. I feel like that would have been a lot of time and effort, and probably hardware that I don't know what to do with. That being said, I still want to work on a couple areas, especially with light fixtures. I have a whole bunch of these long LED bar lights that I want to better situate around the room, so I don't have to just rely on the fan light. I can use the LED light, so it'll look a lot clearer when doing things. I've kind of cheated my way with it on this stream and one or two other ones beforehand, where I just had the camera pointed at an angle that the light would be behind it better. So it's like, okay, if it works, it works. Oh, there's a whole layer of brick I missed over there. Again, it's kind of my fault because they show me what pieces go there. It's like, oh yeah, you have to use all these in this step. Yes, I do. Is that so? But it's almost there. I can feel it. Get a little oven, or not oven, chimney door. You went dad joke of the day. Wait, did you have another pun? Did I miss it? Hey, howdy again, William. Oh, I saw that glass of water. I took care of it. It's sitting behind me. I drank it before. so everyone was like, hydrate! In the middle of the chaos before this third stream happened. It's like, all right, I did. And if you heard that jingle jangle, that was Scooby. He's just wandering through the hall. There we go. It's a cool door. I think they used a door like this in the Emerald Knight, if I recall correctly. Where it has like a little, almost like lock in place. You can see the Technic hole there. It's got like the, almost looks like a handle that like locks into it. It's very cool. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna take another drink myself. Here we go. Gotta hydrate if I'm gonna stream this long. We're almost an hour. I thought this was gonna take about an hour. I guess it's gonna take a little longer than that, unless I could really speed it up in 8 minutes. That would be incredible. To build the rest of this roof in 8 minutes. Not impossible, but it would still be awesome. Let's see. Got it. Get it, got it, good. I almost feel like I should review this. I don't review big sets like I've always wanted to, and there are definitely big sets that I should have reviewed, like as its own video, but didn't. And it's not that I can't now; it's that I don't have them. I don't have them anymore, so it would be a little more difficult to. And then I've done like the Instagram posts with like sort of, just verbally reviewing it through a few photos, but mostly just a wall of text. So I don't know. I don't know. Also, I can only say so much because I didn't build the whole first floor. So by hand, I don't know exactly how that plays out. I can just kind of eyeball it from where I started and figure it out. Not to mention, there are a couple pieces I still need to replenish. Boom. 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 Nice. Nice. Getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, this is kind of interesting for me building a building, because if I put together a building, even if it's not modular scale, I don't really think about the top floor curving like this. I don't like. I've kind of done it before, but it was so small, it was not easy to do. And I don't even know if I still have the building like that anymore. I think I might have torn that apart, actually. It was like a quarter of the footprint that this building would cover, though. And like half the height, I think. Maybe less than half the height. Oh, I saw those pieces. I didn't let those get by me. Yeah, there we go. I'll have green for days. Yeah, that's the other point about it is it is more appealing to people checking out the mock videos than full on set reviews. It's part of the reason why I leaned out of them a little while ago. But I figured it was like, yeah, I can't keep up with all this. If I pick up a bunch of Lego sets, I can't review all of them in a short time, and nobody needs that kind of pressure. So, and to be fair, a lot of what I like about the set, most people genuinely like. Like, I'm not saying my opinion wasn't unique, but it wasn't. There wasn't further conversation about it either. So I'm gonna put this whole thing up here for right now, while I build the roof. That's looking pretty spiffy, even as it is right now. Okay, I'm constantly leaning over to get to the table, and I don't know. I think this is what people are talking about because I've seen this from other people, whether or not they do YouTube or streaming as a regular thing. But I've seen people that would have adjustable tables, and apparently, it helps them better than a standard, fixed table like this. So maybe this is what they're referring to, like that it fits better on their back. They don't have to lean as much. I'm not really sure. But I also know that those are A, expensive, and B, probably larger than the table I have here. So to actually fit something like that here seems a little bit much. My arms feel right here, and yet my posture is just continuously bending forward. So I don't know. Might be a different thing going on. 120. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. I think I've actually watched like one or two people on YouTube that were sponsored by one of those kinds of companies, and I'll be willing to sit through the sponsorship, but I'm like, okay, it's not for me. But maybe it is. Maybe there is something to it that I could use. I kind of wonder if my brother has that, because I know that some people have done that, especially when it comes to computers. That, again, with the streaming thing, but not exclusively. But I do wonder if my brother is something like that, because he does a lot of computer stuff, so he's probably sitting at a desk for a while. I don't know if that's something that he's worked towards. Oh no! Another piece on the ground! I can reach it! I can't reach it! Oh, I can reach it. Go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's speaking of posture and flexibility. Did I not mention that earlier? I said making those aching sounds is a sign of age. This isn't even about me turning 27. This is about me living another year beyond 18 or something. Oop. They put the shorty boys with the bigger boys. I want the shorty boys. Joey, this wouldn't have happened if you just knolled the pieces. I don't care. I'm not building it that way. Okay, I care immensely. And you're actually right. All right. But yeah, I got it. Boop. Just one by ones all across the top. Boop. 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 Now we need the shorty boys to fill in between. Now I got a long one. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of the short. I didn't mean to make fun of the shorty boys by calling them short. Welcome to the stream, Fluminok. Just have the clip of it in my head of Patrick like talking to Mr. Krabs. It's like, I'm waiting, old man. That's how I feel right now in front of you guys. Keep building, old Joe. Old sport. I think I've seen the Leonardo DiCaprio Gatsby, and that was really cool. And that was like I was reading the book, and then the movie came out, like because I was reading the book in high school, and I was like, oh man, the movie's coming out. I was like, this is great timing, because I probably wouldn't have, aside from reading this for school, I wouldn't have thought to read it up to that point. There we go. It's going to be a very, very snug fit. Waiting for the click. Yeah. And it, like, practically doesn't move. That's the other thing about this. It's hinged in place. It's very firmly in place. And I have to turn this thing around. Great. Okay. I am turning this thing around. Got to finish the build. Turn it 180 degrees. There we go. This can fit on the turntable if I move the other stuff off of it. It's yeah. Yeah, it could work. I had originally thought of like this building table area as a review space that would continue, but as we mentioned, yeah, it's probably something I'm not like. I wouldn't review everything on it, even though I've always wanted to, but it'll work for a couple things. Like if I have something I really want to talk about, I think it would still be a viable spot. Oops. Gotta move it back. There we go. And then one right there. And it lines up like right next to it. It's almost flush. I think it might be flush actually. Can I put the instructions over here? Can it stand up? Okay, it can't. So I'm going to lean them a little bit. I'm going to carefully move things forward so it doesn't fall on the floor again. It's very pretty. I do like it. Just looking at it from here even. Yeah, I don't know if it's banned everywhere, but I wouldn't deny, I wouldn't be surprised if it was banned in certain countries. Because, you know, the nature of the episode. It's kind of like, maybe we don't show that to kids. Maybe we don't encourage that. Even though he doesn't get in trouble for it at the end. But, like, if you didn't watch SpongeBob, constantly, and somebody told you that was an episode, you'd be like, why? What? I could easily see that happen to people. The night of debauchery. I'm just standing on the side of the road. Okay, so we got jumpers. We got a 1x3 plate. And we got these. So how do they put the smokestack up here when the chimney's over there? Really makes you think. Oh, there is a smokestack on the other side. I don't know what that is then. It's a thing. That much I know. Oh, okay, there we go. It's in the middle. Almost had them in the wrong way. It's going good. We're almost done. I am building the chimney and then some of the back roofing area. Kind of a weird space, not gonna lie. I mean, it's nice that they made it do its own thing as like an art studio up there, but it's also weird because there's almost no lighting. Like, no windows except for in the front. And a little bit in the door, but still. So, I don't know if... I know a lot of the modular sets do have story. I don't know if this one was at that point. Because I know some of them later, like Detective's Office, had a story that still links up with ones to this day. Like the bank has a story. The police station has a story. I want to actually look back through the designer videos and see what other stories there were that I might have missed. Because I want to see, like, that sounds like a fun video. What is the story of the modular series? What is the, like, overarching plot? What are things I can pick out of it, Because if they're going to that extent, why not? Why not talk about it? Because Lego likes their stories every so often, and this is a kind of series that you wouldn't expect there to be a lot of story with it, but they quote unquote build upon it. No pun intended. They started at some point and then they continued with it. I'm going to move these over here because I know it's going to be for later, so I'll miss those right now. Well, okay, you got a point there about the artists. And third floor apartment of a building like this, sure. Because if I recall correctly, it would be cheaper to buy a first floor or a second floor by comparison. But I guess they're trying. There is an artist in the set. There is actually one that is designated to have an art smock, even though it's a Ninjago garb, which is it's actually really cool. It's good that they use it. Yep. Oh, okay. I got the call for the Scoob. And we're almost there, but bear with me. I'm gonna have to load up our favorite. I'm glad that this artwork is getting its spotlight because it's really good. I will like it. I did actually get Scooby and Catstello situated on the couch to make that artwork happen. But yes, I will have to step away for not too long. I want to say 10 minutes or so at best, maybe earlier. Um, take care of Scooby. Give him his night walk. I'm just going to finish this part right here. And we'll put them all together when I come back. Yeah, it's okay if you've already been burnt down a bit on the coating. No shame in that. All right. So here we go. I will see you again real soon. Okay, we're back. Um, so I had actually thought in the beginning, before the live stream, like when I was trying to work on this last night, that the BRB screen that you're seeing right now would actually have some music playing behind it. Problem was I couldn't find in a short time a smooth enough way to incorporate that music with the picture. Um, I tried a couple different options that just keep floundering on me. Story of my life. So I was like, you know what? I got the photo. That'll work. That'll do the job as it needs to do. And I'm back. So let's get this back up here. And so it turns out I had actually missed one spot to build on this thing. It's 4, not 3x. In the meanwhile, in the brief time that I had taken Scooby out, which was fine, he had a few stops. He wanted to catch up with a neighbor's dog, actually 2 neighbor's dogs, but I kept him distant enough. And yeah, it's really like my ears are still cold. And this is a warm room, so I'm sure it'll smooth out pretty quickly. In that time, when I was gone, I decided to look up the going rates on Bricklink. I didn't check Brick Owl yet, but on Bricklink, what the going rates of different modulars were, especially ones I was interested in, and are going to break my heart when I find out what the prices are. So I think it might actually be fun as its own video, whether or not right after the stream or something, but something I'll publish. To talk about all of the modulars that have come out up to this point, because we're, 15, almost 15 years in, I think? 2007 was the first one. It's been one every year up to this point, 2022. And 17. 18? Wait. So one of them just says mini modulars, which is not technically a modular, I guess. There were 17 modulars. I thought there was 15. Wow. Was there a repeat? What happened? There couldn't have been 2 in the same year. Maybe it's including the year 2007 to now. I guess that 6. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So there were 2 in the same year. The Cafe Corner and Market Street. I forgot about that. I forgot to release it at the only a couple months apart, I think, from each other, if I remember correctly. So, I looked up some of the going rates of modulars that I do like. There are some I have not counted yet. I probably, again, would have to do much more thorough analysis of that on a separate video. Basically as a ranking system kind of thing. One I forgot to mention that's also still available is the bookshop, and I'm curious about that one. I haven't looked at it deeply as to what the interior is like, but conceptually, it's cool. I like the fall theme of it. I like the colors for the outside of it in a nice teal, but I don't know much beyond it from that. And it is also nice having another modular that's a double unit kind of thing. Instead of it being one giant building taking the whole base plate, it's 2 buildings that can basically separate from each other onto something different. Because there's a lot of ones, especially in recent years, that have been one building on one giant base plate. Detective's Office is almost like that, because it is technically 2 separate buildings, but you can't split it down the middle and put them somewhere else, like you can for the pet shop, and I believe you can with the bookshop. I don't even know if there was another one like that. Maybe Market Street did that. Well, Market Street, my gosh, that feels so... I hate to give flack on it because it is a fan design set, but it was so early and it's so different from everything else. Like, this was the second modular released. you know? So while it's cool that they incorporated it, it doesn't match the style of almost any other building in so many different ways. And I've tried to look at this thing in person, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't feel it. The only interest I would have in building it is, or the only interest I would have in owning it and building it, of course, is the fact that it was a fan designed set for that line. But that was something they only did that one time. And it's kind of astounding to me that in the advent of ideas, they've never continued it. They've never pitched an idea like that again, or at least none has gone that far through. Maybe it's because they already have enough, set designers that already get the job done, and people already flock to that, and then they're just like, oh yeah, we don't have to really, we don't have to split the credit sort of thing with a fan design. So we already have something here, and we got a lot of building techniques. And I'm sure there are people that make custom modulars that look phenomenal and that look, close enough to fit with other modulars. I wish I knew more about them, honestly. So we are literally at the very end of building this. So hold on to your butts. That by itself is really clever. I mean, this whole thing is plate structure that's gonna. There we go. This thing is whole plate structure with the windows, plated down like that, and it's just gonna be standing up. I like it. I love Lego math like this, where it's like things fit perfectly into place in ways I did not imagine or did not think of before. And that's the fun part, is that it could be an old set, it can be a new set. It still works. All right. I'm going to open up the chat again. Market Street gets a lot of hate for some reason. I think, from when I look at it, it's very basic on building techniques. It's very open-aired. You don't even have, a fleshed-out back to it, if I recall correctly. The idea of the bike area, or that little street to run through, isn't inherently bad, but when you're seeing all the other modulars, you think you could have done more with that space. And it's really empty. It's really gappy behind it, which other modulars are gappy too. Pet Shop, definitely. But yeah. Doesn't really work as well, I believe. Modular Lego store from Bricklink. So, when I looked it up, it showed up as modular collection, a very specific lineup of Lego sets. And even in there, it says the mini modular is one of those, which I was trying to count out of the number, because even though it's reminiscing and emulating the modulars we know of, it's not in the construction line of it. It's not built to be the same as the other ones. All right, so I'm going to bring this around once more for our almost final time for the stream. And we just added this whole area on, which is fantastic. I like that. That's the one thing I do enjoy about Lego sets, is that sometimes they really pull together some unique ways of using parts that other basic bricks would take much longer or not accomplish as well. So that's really nice on its own, top to bottom, looking at all the floors. It has a nice, lineup of the staircase and everything. Don't fall over on me yet. And also has that nice profile on the side of it. Not even just the fact that it's, like the color here, but I mean about like that rounding on the top of it. Because every time I design a building, even if it's a really small building, even though it's again not modular scale, every time I try to design a building, I use flat stuff. I use flat floors. I use flat roofs. I don't use the curvature as much as I should or should try to. But here, that's solid. That's really nice. So I'm going to turn it back a little bit this way because the last area we have to cover are the leaf pieces, the little vine work that's on top of the this thing. I totally know what that is. Right, so the instructions are held sideways right now. Oh, I see. I was turning these in the wrong way. Plants! Exactly. I know what a plant is. I didn't know what that like framing, that like iron framing above it was. Fencing something. And here we go. Oh, let's go move over a little bit. Little bit. Come on. There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, time check, 1:37:40. We have finished building the Parisian restaurant for now, because there are still parts that I need to look through if it fell or if it just fell out of the bag or something. Something to look through later. Palace Cinema, that's also another one that has the nice that nice work on the lettering too. But yeah, we are here. We have finally reached the end of our journey. Again, I will still have to find a few parts, but this is fine for now. This looks fantastic. Really nice to have this like sitting right in front of me. I know it's hard to emulate it through the screen, and especially through my kind of screen, but it's a very solid build. I'm very satisfied with this pretty much all the way around. Like, I can think of a couple things that would have been changed if it was built nowadays, but there's still a lot of things that hold up. There's a lot of cool building techniques. There's still a lot of, intricate designs and just clever work that I probably wouldn't have thought of. So yeah, I don't know if I might be able to do it from here. I might just be able to do it just by sitting down. To actually bring this all up onto the shelf, but without like standing up. I could probably reach the Marvel stuff that's there, put it on the table, and then just swap places. As far as all of those extra pieces, I'm thinking. Oh, so let me check something real quick. Oh, okay. So the roof actually does open up enough. Like, you can actually get a finger behind it and open that. So from a sitting position, from keeping the whole thing together, you can still get your space in here to set up things. That's good. That's cool. Because I knew that the front was pretty rigid, and I didn't know if that was going to happen on the back. And it does have windows, so I can't complain anymore about that. It's like, oh, yeah, they can see. They're really nice. It's almost like a skylight kind of window. I like it. I can think of a couple houses I've been in where they have that kind of look. And I'm not saying I don't want that for my house. I do. But I also do like just um, the design itself in this Lego build. As far as the extra pieces go, so now that I can open that up, I am actually going to fit all of those pieces that we had extras of, including some of the ones that may or may not have been a part of the set, into that top floor, because then it'll just be an easy way of keeping track of them in case something goes wrong, in case I have it in the wrong spot. Um, I do. I'm trying to be careful with this one I mentioned earlier in the stream. That's chrome gold. That is nicely plated. I'm gonna stick it somewhere else for now. I mean, it doesn't look like it would scratch. It's just like, yeah, fingerprints, but yeah, that'll work. You see it? You see where it is? I stuck it on the plant. It fits. It fits on the plant. So I'm gonna keep it back there as like a hidden treasure. Treasure, like Fred Jones would say from Scooby-Doo. So yeah, all the other pieces in here I'm going to throw into the artist space. At least for now. Maybe I'll actually get a bag sometime later if I can find like a small bag to put them in, and it'll clean up much more nicely. Oh, that piece almost fell on the floor, and we already know about that. There was a 2x2 plate in here, and I don't know exactly where it went. Which, again, makes me wonder, oh, did I miss something? I hope not. Artist currently isn't up there. Nobody's in the upper floor. It's just all in the bottom floor, because that's where the minifigs were built. It's like, it's not like other Lego sets, and I don't even know if other modulars do this. It's not like other Lego sets where you build up one thing at a time in between bags and between books of instructions, and then you have the minifigs spread between them. Again, this was 2014, so they had all the minifigs bottom floor, like early bags, or basically bag 1 or 1 and 2 to use here. I do like the Vespa. It was a good time for them to make the Parisian restaurant because they had this, as a motorcycle piece. It fits very nicely. And now it's relevant because Book of Boba Fett has it. I don't know if they still produce that piece, but that would be that is something I've seen people joke about, is that the one of the recent episodes of Book of Boba Fett offered these Vespa looking motorcycles for like a wasteland gang, and it's amazing. I did not watch Boba Fett today because it's my birthday. I think you can excuse that, but I will catch up on it. I know it's a thing. I've noticed this for a while. It's like, oh, it appears on Wednesdays for new episodes. Huh. Guess I know which one I'm missing. And I'm not going to watch it like early in the morning like everybody else did. I saw tweets that were like at 5 a.m. or like, not as they happened, but like after the fact, and it's like, no, thank you. Latest episode is amazing, best one yet. All right, that sounds good. I don't know why that was held for review, and I just went back to make sure it was good. It's basic, but I think it's nice. Some newer modulars look over designed, in my opinion. It was only $90, so like for the price, price for the amount of stuff you get is good. Oh, you mean the Market Street? Market Street at $90 doesn't sound bad when you put it that way. Because I do not remember what the original modular prices were, and it's changed so drastically now that it's like you're expecting $150 minimum. And, many cases keep going. Technically, Bricklink Designer Program has the Lego store, but debatable if it's an actual modular. Yeah, that's something that's interesting. There is also the Daily Bugle that has the same structure on the bottom of it as a modular. Like, intentionally left parts in like that. I gotta watch Sans' video again because Sans made a good video that goes over, the qualifications and the classification of sets being modular or just modular scaled. And he had a couple good points from what I remember in there, but something that I probably do not remember everything. So yeah, maybe I'll watch that again at some point. All right, I'm gonna move this up to the shelf. If you would like to stick around for the stream, you're welcome to. My mom and I are still figuring out dinner. Like I thought about one or two places, but unfortunately they are closed. And I don't know if it's closed for the evening, closed for the season, or closed permanently, which is a shame. But I will tell you that The Plastic Architect is now streaming on Twitch, because I got notification of that. If you wanted to check her out, she's the one that I was mentioning earlier, who was making all those modulars into stickers as its own style of artwork. So let me check. She's still streaming? Okay, she is not still streaming, but I know somebody who is that I would recommend as well, and that is the one, the only Bricks O'Brien. I'm actually going to host him on my own Twitch channel. He still has balloons in the background. I'm sorry, I can't look at balloons the same way after hearing that all of Earth's helium is going to be gone in like 15 to 20 years. Like, that is a fact. I can't believe that's a fact. And now, and it's also a shame because I work at 2 part-time jobs that offer birthday parties. So even if we don't bring in the balloons, somebody's bringing them to those places. And I'm like, oh no. What are we going to do after that? We're going to stop celebrating birthdays. I don't even have birthday balloons. And not because I adamantly said, no birthday balloons for me today. I'm 27. And no, it just didn't come up. But I guess that's good. I know not every birthday I had balloons. And in the past couple of years, it's okay if it doesn't. And yeah, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it's really becoming an AFOL shelf up here. I'm looking up at it. It's so it's the haunted house on the right, followed by the old fishing store, and then the middle, almost left area, basically the middle, yeah, is the Marvel and Avengers and Spider-Man sets, which are all cool, and I love having them up there and trying to integrate them with each other. And then it's the Simpsons house. And now I'm putting this up there to expunge some of the Marvel stuff. It'll still fit, but I can't put as much now. I know a couple things right off the bat I can move just to try to get some space out of it. I've already done the math. Like, yes, I can fit all this stuff up there if I wanted to. I actually thought about this on the walk with Scooby. I thought, hey, maybe I could bring the maybe I could bring back the Lepin pet shop and put it up there. So if anybody does, stop by the Lego room or sees it in the background of a stream, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, you have the pet shop. That's cool." And I'll be like, "I do, but I don't." Because from afar, it does look exactly the same. It's only if you take a closer look at a few things that you'll notice that it's a Lepin, that it's a knockoff, and yeah, it's kind of cool for that. But I'm also not, again, endorsing, buy the Lepin stuff. Only buy it if you can't afford the real stuff and you're not too partial about it. There are definitely Lego purists out there, and I am somebody who has grown up with more than just Lego. I've grown up with Mega Bloks, so I'm okay with the other systems, even though I'm not advocating them. I'm not always, purchasing them. Okay, let's see. I would love if I could do all of this without standing up, because that would just be sweet. There's something else here. Yeah, got it. I'm just feeling the table. Okay, got all the other stuff out of the way. Okay, so I gotta move. I'll move the Sanctum forward. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Also, I do like the fire escape in the Sanctum Sanctorum set. That's cool. Okay, so we'll move this forward. Do I want to change the direction? Nah, I'm just gonna fix this guy up here. They fell too far back. Oh, great. Okay. How about? Oh, okay. I'm gonna move the Avengers Tower over completely. Okay, so it's right next to the Simpsons. If I, yep. Okay, cool. Then the Sanctum Sanctorum in front of that, at least for now. Then I should be able to fit the Parisian restaurant up there. Also, I'll go into the modulars aftermarket prices. That'll make me cry. I forgot to do that before. Sorry. Right. Up we go. Oh, that was close. Okay. So this fits snugly. Very snugly. Hold on. I know you got space next to the old fishing store to work around those Technic pegs. All right. I have to stand up. I have to stand up and work on this. I don't even think that... No, it doesn't. Does it? Whoa. No. Put the plants back. Plant. Is it all the way back? Is it hitting the Avengers Tower? What is happening here? Yeah, something's happening here that I can't understand. Is this all the way back? Yeah, that's all the way back. How is that different? Oh, because the old fishing store has like an overhang on the roof, so it's not... Base plate's not all the way back. Still gonna have a stone or two in between there. It's gonna have that there. What if I move the Avengers Tower forward a little bit? Yeah, it's like opening up. That's it. Okay. Simpsons move there. I know it's a terrible angle. It's part of the reason why I didn't want to show you in stand up and do it. But here we are. Almost. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix the Simpsons house a little bit further. In general, aside from what I already did. Okay, so stand up there. You stand up over there. Cool. It almost actually lines up with each other, just by coincidence. But not really what I intended. Is it possible for me to fit the Venom mech up here? Okay, yeah, he will fit, but he is hanging off the edge of it. Well, that's one way to do it. Put his feet around it like that. I guess that could work. That's interesting. Because the footprint for the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Avengers Tower is almost half of a modular. So that's what makes it really... That's what makes it really fascinating looking at them. That being said, I feel like the Venom mech might fall over if it's sitting there. It's like a little too forward for my liking. Would the Venomous Rex fit better? Maybe with the tail around? would work, perhaps. Let me try that. Oh, that actually works worse. Yeah, it has like no room to stand there. All right, I will try the Venom mech again because that just looks cool on its own. I really like that. It's weird. I've had such a turnaround with the Venom stuff from Spider-Man, like in a year, and I was not a fan of it for like several years. But there was so much Venom stuff for Spider-Man and like barely anything for Lizard Man, Doc Ock, anybody else that's in the comics, you know. And yet now I'm like, I'm okay with more of these. Like I kind of get it that there's so much range with it, because Venom as a symbiote can just take over other things, or you know, transform itself to look like other things. So it makes it feel more like, oh, I can, you know, you can make it do this, you can make it do that. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. I guess I'll try to fit the figures back up here, but there's not a lot of room in front of the mech, so I'm gonna put them in front of the Parisian restaurant for now. Ant-Man keeps falling over though. Got Spider Noir. You know what? I'll fit this back down here. Got Spider Ham. Got a minifig of Venom down here. And Spider Gwen. I like Spider Gwen over Ghost Spider as a name, but same thing basically. Okay. Sure. I think that'll work for now. Oh, there's a couple more minifigs I can put loosely up there. So we have Black Widow. We have Falcon. And we got a few AIM soldiers. I'm going to stick them over here. And with their turret. Yeah, Simpson's house still needs work. And I don't know where to put the Ecto-1 or the DeLorean. I don't have as many shelves as I used to. For a point of perspective, here's what I'm looking at. So here's the building table. Here's where we were. I had the laptop there, building the Parisian restaurant, and now moving a couple things around. I could take Miles Morales out of here and put him up there, though, because I like all the Into the Spider-Verse figures. So, yeah, I don't know. But here's a building table around, some sets behind there, and then hopefully you get to see that. That's the shelf I'm working with. There's not a lot of other shelves in the room in general. They just get really high up after that point because it's a taller room than it is wide. So this is really the display shelf. That's about it. And while I would like these to rotate at some point, they're not made to be 100% all times forever. There are some really cool stuff that I like putting up here, and there are some really cool stuff I would hate to take apart and then rebuild it again sometime later, or at least immediately. I mean, I'm only still just under a year moved into here, and I've fixed a couple things on the old fishing store, which I don't think I built that long before moving. Then there's the haunted house, which I've tried to keep in pristine condition, and I only had to fix like one or two things, luckily. Simpsons house, it's taken a beating, but I'm working its way back. That's the room. That's the window. I'll fix that after the stream. There's also a missing antenna. It's supposed to be a satellite antenna up there, but I'm sure it's around somewhere. Or I have the pieces to build a new one. So yeah, I mean it's a nice layout, but it's only going to go so far. If I put the Lepin pet shop up here, the what you call it, the Simpsons house would have some trouble. It can only move over so far before it, leans off the shelf entirely. It's got like a little bit of room next to it. Not really enough for a whole nother modular though. Even if I took the Marvel stuff out, it probably wouldn't fit. So maybe it's okay for now that the pet shop, even though I haven't built it in a couple of years, it's okay that it sits in a bin rotting. First of all, being Lepin, sure, but also the fact that it had its day. There was a time when it was up, and now it doesn't. And I'm giving these a little bit more time for it to shine. The only other place I can think of is if I built another shelf myself, and haven't done that. Yeah, all the top shelves, they could technically have Lego on them, but I'm always afraid of the fact that they're so tall, they're so high up that they might fall. And also the fact that, well, first of all, being in danger for me, but also I don't want to see those things explode. But also, they wouldn't really get any love up there. I mean, not that the plushes don't. I mean, you can lean up from here and you still get to appreciate them. But there's so much more that the modulars and everything else shelf-wise would have that wouldn't get as much love if they were way up there. Even if you were standing and looking up at it, it wouldn't work as well, I think. So I like that the plushes are up there because it's really soft. So even if they do fall, it's not going to break. It's not going to shred. And if it hits me, it's not going to hurt. All right, let's take a look at... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so I got this for a very good price. I'm not going to disclose what it is on the stream, but I am happy that I got it. Even with the handful of parts that are missing from it, I am very happy that I got it as I did, and for the price that I got it for. Because even at the time, I was like, I'm not sure what the value is, but I know that I know that Kevin isn't, trying to do me in. This is respectful. Mad respect there. So, moving on from that, I'm looking at the detective's office right now. Actually, I wonder if I could just do it here. Yeah, you're going to see my face again. Whoops. Ricklink.com. I might be able to just... Hashtag thanks, Doc. Have I heard of SCP-387? It's about a tub of living like a bird. I have not. I haven't actually heard a lot of SCP stuff outside of like one or two game adaptations of it. So, enlighten me. It sounds cool. I also, before I moved, I used to have a basement with a small shellfish kind of thing off to the side of it. It wasn't technically a shelf, but I made it as if it was. And it used to have a lot of my Lego Batman stuff and a wide variety of them. So there were different Batman vehicles. There were different villain vehicles. There were, most of the DC superheroes I had fit up there. And while that was cool, it also could not work here because that space would be eaten up so quickly. And again, I don't think that's something I want to bring back so soon because it already had a lot of moments of shine. It literally had its own back wall in the basement. Like, that's pretty significant. That's a lot of real estate for Lego stuff. So I'm okay with not having it up here for right now. I've always wanted to try Lego Dimensions, if only to see Sonic and GLaDOS interact. I'm sure there are videos out there of it, or if I really get my streaming capture card to work again, then I could try to record if anything happens between them. Because I have all the Dimension stuff. Everything Dimensions. I have the Supergirl, I have Green Arrow, I have every pack. I have not completed the game, and there are still many levels I have not gone through. But, yeah. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Let me just whisk that over here. So I can pull up Bricklink and see, out of curiosity, how modulars are doing right now. It's weird because it's like I never thought I would be a modular collector. I never thought I'd really be interested in that. Honestly, it's not too complex. It's a tub of Lego bricks and figures that automatically refills when it's half empty, and when something is constructed, the figures interact with them and use them as if they were real structures. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. So, William, what did I miss? I had just finished building the Parisian restaurant, or at least built it to everything I was provided. So, only a handful of pieces left over. Or a handful of pieces that still need to, go back for, but not bad. I did a little bit of like first impression review sort of thing about it, just from the architecture, the different building techniques in it, and I fit it onto the shelf. So I did move a couple things around with the Marvel stuff, which I inevitably was going to do, and they fit nicely to each other. There's also an interesting gap of space because of the nature of the building. That it has that staircase that leads up to the back area. That it makes a nice gap. It doesn't like sandwich itself too much next to other buildings on the shelf. So I'll bring it up again. I'm also going to post it on Instagram in a better lighting, in a better color, or in a better picture of it. So we have the haunted house from 2020, old fishing store, the Parisian restaurant, a whole bunch of Marvel and Spider-Man stuff, because technically behind it is the Avengers Tower, one of the tallest buildings on the shelf. Then there's the Sanctum Sanctorum in front of it, because they fit nicely. And then we have the Venom mech in front of that. And several Spider-Man figures, and Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Falcon, some AIM soldiers. I put a couple guys on top. They're already there. And then we have the Simpsons house next to that. So, yeah. I will still need to work on the Simpsons house, though. And also on the table, this is what I had moved out from the Spider-Man stuff. So, mostly a couple different mechs of various sizes. And that's fine, because, again, they had their heyday. I built them about a year ago or so. I could always maneuver these things into other areas if I wanted to. I might even just throw some of the figures up on the shelf, like Miles Morales or Thanos. The Venomosaurus is really cool, but he can't fit as well as the Venom mech, at least for right now. But I'm still watching the Venom mech carefully, because I feel like there's a chance it might fall over or it snag on something and topple. And the other Spider-Man vehicles, I'm okay with them being here. I'm not super crazy into them. I think they're playable. I think they're fine as toys as they're meant to be. They're just not anything that I'm particularly looking for right now, with considering the rest of the stuff. And yes, I do like having the Spider-Man Venom mech, or the Venomosaurus, with the T-Rex. I don't know where the T-Rex's tail went. It's probably here on the table. Um, or maybe I didn't finish building it. I'm not sure which. That's an idea set I have not finished building. So yeah, I will figure that out. The whole room is still evolving, still finding its place for everything. I am happy though that even when moving things around, the ocean exploration stuff behind it hasn't taken up a lot of space. Mostly because I've condensed a few things into each other, but still, I could still use the table beyond that. Even if I push these back a little bit, I could still build here if I wanted to work on something. So I like that. This is the problem that I usually have. If there is open space, it will be occupied. So I could see in no time this whole table would get cluttered again. Just because that's the nature of the beast. I hope it doesn't, because I would like to actually have proper building room here. Or even if I'm just in here watching videos or listening to podcasts or live streams or something like that. While maybe working on the table behind me or something. It feels good having this open. So I hope it stays like that, or I hope that it's utilized like that sometime soon. I don't know still where to put the Iron Man suits that are sitting over to the side, because I like a lot of the Marvel stuff. I really got on the kick of them last year, and now I'm like, what do I do? Where do I put them? And I would love to utilize them for a couple other things, but there's not a lot of shelves to do that. The table that we're talking on is basically treated as a shelf, and has been for a while. So the idea that maybe there's something else to it, he's missing a piece? Huh. Maybe it was when he fell. He was on the floor somewhere. I just realized that now. Anyways, yeah, we're just gonna wrap things up by talking about modulars that'll make me cry. Yes, it is a Venomized T-Rex. It's a really cool set. That's where Spider-Ham was featured. I mean, the set was $80, and Spider-Ham was at lowest like $35 on Bricklink. I was like, okay, as much as I like that character, I don't think it's worth $35. And at that rate, I might as well buy the whole set and get more out of that. Like, if he was $35, the set was $80, then that's another $25 to get a whole bunch of other stuff to build and play with, and other figures to go with it. So, I don't know, it's not bad. I'm okay with that. I would actually like to put one of those light bar units underneath one of these shelves, or rather, this shelf, like right across here. I think this kind of wood I could drill through, but I don't have to drill too far and too many screws. It's like 2, maybe 3 at best. That would be fantastic. If I could get that in there, that would really, really work well to have this area lit up. So that way, I don't have a weird light bar sitting in the middle of a shelf, as it is right now, and it's a lot easier seeing this area. And if I have the laptop facing this way, it won't look so blindingly awkward. We'll see. I didn't think it would really help live streaming, basically Lego Home Improvement. So I won't. Will it allow me to share? It will not. Alright, so I will close up the stream. I will open up another one briefly. It's going to be over on Twitch, but I'm going to archive it to Maniac for Bricks more, and literally just do a run through of ranking all the modulars. Like a Bob Vila. Exactly. I'm just going to take the moment now to cry about the ones that I want the most, or at least sitting in the top of my head I would like the most if I had to keep going from here, and what their going rates are. So starting things off strong, we're looking at the Parisian. No, not looking at the Parisian restaurant. I did look at it on Bricklink, but I'm like, okay, we're good. I own it. I win. Starting starting things off strong. We were looking at the detective's office. Oh, that's better. That's more like it. Yeah, I hope we can talk soon. I don't know when the next video on this channel will be, but I have some videos I've been working on. So one thing I mentioned earlier about the Lego plushes up there, I've been working on a video for that for the past day or so, and hopefully that'll come up on the channel soon. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's see, detective's office. I'm looking at the current sales because, you know, as much as it's good to know what it has sold for, I already know it's going to be more than the retail price. Just want to see if it's any better, any worse. Yeah, we'll look at them too. So, detective's office, 6-month sales, average price was $365. Okay, that's quite a bit. I think it was originally 170, 180 or something like that, so it's nearly doubled in almost 4 years. Yeah, something like that. Oh, it came out 2015, even more so. Even though it probably was around, like, last time I saw it in the stores was 2018. So it's been around for a while that people could buy it. Luckily, a lot of the modulars do that. If they were just here and gone in 1 year, it would be atrocious. It would be devastating. And the prices would reflect that. For some reason, it says the minimum was 110. But it doesn't actually show a listing underneath where it was 110. I don't know. I don't know when that was. Oh, here we go. August 2019. So going back a ways. 116. October 2017, 110. 4 of them sold for $110. Holy crap, that would have been a time to be alive. And I was, but, you know, actively looking for it. I would have gone for that if I had known. If only I had known. Creator Ferris Wheel is another one that got away from me that same year in 2018. That was available Black Friday. I did not get it. Did not get it. To be fair, I wouldn't have had a lot of space for it. I love the amusement park sets. I love the fairground stuff. I don't have many of them, but, you know, I love my rides. I just don't have enough space, even back then, that I could have put them up. Not without demolishing an entire city. Used 6-month sales, average $319. Okay, not far off from new. But the minimum was $225. And again, this is probably years and years ago, right? $225 as of August 2021. Okay. Again, doesn't sound too bad, but still sounds above what I would want. Like, I keep thinking based on the MSRP. And I don't want to go exorbitantly beyond that, where it's like, I could buy 2 modulars for the price of this one. You know, that kind of feeling. Currently. Oh no. Here's where I cry. This is like 2 paychecks. or almost in the vicinity of 2 paychecks. Probably even more than that if I count rent. It's like, if I had the leftover money after rent from a paycheck, this would take several to make up. Minimum current new $340. Okay. Average $500. And out of curiosity, the max was $1243. Yeesh. That must have been a really pristine sealed box to go for over $1,000. Used $261. All right. Average $361. Okay. Yeah. So the problem is the current, or the lowest used currently, $261, is not in the United States. because it shows a little squiggle to say like about this much, which usually means it is sold outside of the country, and that's the conversion roughly. So I'm just gonna look at it real quick. Yeah, that's in Germany. Okay. German store has it for about $260. 100% complete in good condition, but a lot of bricks are yellowed. Instructions are 7 out of 10, no box. A lot of bricks are yellowed? Interesting. Because the structure of the model I wouldn't think would be yellowed, but I don't know. Something. Downtown Diner time! Minimum $45 in 6 months sales. Why? Was it just for the car? It could not have been for the entire set. I'm going to scroll down real quick. See if there's a thing up here. July 2018, 165. That's reasonable. 150, 160. Okay. November 2019, 110 for new. Wow. Wow. Again, what a time to be alive. Okay, so it doesn't say why the 46 exists. It just says that it did in October of 2021. I'm willing to bet it was just about the car. Or it might have been the car, box, instructions, something. It definitely wasn't the main model. I have to believe that. But the average new 268. It's up there. I don't know about that. Used 6 month sales, minimum 30. Again, doesn't say why, but I'm imagining a similar parameter. Average 235. Okay. Fine. Sure. Current new. Minimum 46. So are you doing the same thing? This is from a store in Spain. And it says, pink Cadillac only. Put into Ziploc bag. Never played. No other bricks, minifigures, building instructions, or box. $46 just for the car. I mean, I guess some pieces in that are harder to find or almost exclusive. But still. Yikes. Especially yikes when the new average, $356. Wow. Okay. Used. Lowest is $266, and it says it's out of the country. In Sweden. Only building with manual, but no box or figures, great shape. I would be okay with that. I mean, the shipping, might be a problem. That's going to cost a bit more internationally, plus the weight of it. But, So if it's only the building, it doesn't have the Cadillac. And we already discussed that the Cadillac could be as low as $40. New. So 266 plus 46 before shipping, before tax, before considering that they're in two separate international stores, is just over 300. I don't know. Whereas the average used price is $307. So that comes out nicely. There is none that are actually listed at $307. The closest is $297, and it doesn't ship here for some reason. It's out of the US, but it doesn't ship here. What about the next most? Because I wouldn't mind a used modular. As long as it was clean enough. Okay, so the next one. Italy! Hey! We're talking Italy all day. From Prarisian. Up to 80% off. Well, this is definitely not at all percent off. It says downtown diner used to complete $277. All right, not bad. If that was the lowest used, that might be feasible. But on the opposite end, for new, including out of the country, in Hong Kong it says that there's one new sealed for $249. So less price, new and sealed. I'm hoping it's actually that. I'm hoping it's actually the modular. I hate to play the stigma, but I don't know how many people actually go through Bricklink and scam it with Leopard. Yeah, I'd be worried about something like that. I don't know if it's possible. I think it can. I don't know if it's possible that I would ask the seller for pictures of the thing in hand. At something like that. It's like, I want to know that you actually own the modular and not just using the stock photo or a knockoff or something like that. Let's go back to the Parisian restaurant for just a moment because we didn't talk about the box. What would happen if I just got the box? I have the instructions, don't have to worry about that. Box only. Usually runs about 30, according to 6 months average, between 24 and 30, between new and used. Currently, the cheapest in the US new is $24.95. Okay. Cheapest used is $8. What happened? There's no explanation for it. In the US, $8 and there's 5 of them in this store. Why? Like, I have to imagine that at that kind of used condition, at that price, it has to have some damage. That there must be water damage to it, maybe a tear in the box, maybe the sides were cut and it's flattened. Usually that's listed for a Bricklink listing like that. It's like Wisconsin! Oh, Mom's Attic finds. There's no such thing as too many Legos. Interesting. They do not sell sets. So they do not have any of the modulars. But they have the boxes for some reason. Interesting. Very interesting. What does the $10 one say? It's also in the US. Very minor damage to one end flap. And they provide links to what the photos are. Let's see. Hopefully they open up in the right way. That would stink. It's like, oh, we included a link, but you can't even see it. Wait, it said minor damage to one flap. Okay. That still doesn't look bad from where I'm looking at it. Let's try the second one. Try the second image. Yeah, that's passable. I see a little bit on the end, but that's not bad. I would live with that. Luckily, I'm lenient enough to go into something like that, where it's like, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, it might batter a little bit. I mean, it might even batter through me. But that's feasible. That's doable. Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying I'm picking it up right now, but I will add it to cart. I will consider it. The thing about it is more of just, I guess, retaining its value more than, oh, I know what to do with this box. Because there's a lot of Lego set boxes. I think I had a whole stream tangent about this. There's a whole lot of Lego set boxes that I am actually not using right now, that I have no purpose for, but I also have no reason to throw it out other than to save some space. But even out of the ones that do save space, like I have the Avengers box here, Avengers Tower box, and it has boxes inside of it. So it's not really taking up much space because it's actually used for something else. And so I'm okay with that. There's a couple other boxes in here I would not throw away because I do think it adds value to the product. Like the Employee Gift 2018. I love that set anyways. I love the everything about it, literally. I don't know if the 20th anniversary Star Wars sets are gonna be like that, if they're already like that even. Because I still have the boxes, I think. At least 2 of them, I think. I have one still sealed. I actually found this in the backlog not too long ago. That I have one of the Pod Racer poly bags sealed. I have the Stone Speeder poly bag, but that's already opened. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. I'm looking around the rest of the room, and I'm like, I want to clean more of this, but I also want food. I didn't have lunch. Probably eat that. Probably eat food. All right, we'll clock out here, and maybe I'll do a little ranking thing on Twitch. If you want to follow me over there, you can. Twitch.tv/ManiacBricks. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Oh, let me catch up with the chat for a second. I missed a couple things in here. So Mike Cleary, thank you for joining. At Prarisian Restaurant is a nice modular. I think it was my first. It's my first too, officially, unless you count Ninjago City as a modular. And I don't count the Pet Shop Lepin. I do, but I don't. It's so similar, and yet it's not officially Lego. Yeah. This is technically the first, I think. And let's see. Modulars would be a line I would definitely not collect boxes, to be honest. Most boxes are pretty uninspired and huge to the store. Fair enough. They would take up a lot of space. And there are some boxes I have actually broken down and flattened. The one I had just looked at looks like it already had it flattened. Like, just ripping the tape off the sides of it and crushing it down to store it easier. I'm okay with that. I'm not against that. I keep some of them boxed together like this because I either haven't done that yet or I'm using it to store other stuff in it. But there's still plenty of them where I have done that. And I put them in a bigger box. But a box of boxes. I had to make room and did a huge purge of boxes. I decided to toss almost everything. Angry Dragon, what's the Ghostbuster HQ box? I have no idea. And I gotta imagine it's gotta be a lot. I know the box itself is huge. I have seen this thing in person, and I'm like, where is that gonna go? And then I look at the set, and I'm like, where is that gonna go? I like Ghostbusters. I'm glad I had an opportunity to see it in store once. But I can't do that much with it. That is a huge commitment that I am not up for. That is for those who not only enjoy Ghostbusters, but also have a wider room, and maybe they enjoy the real Ghostbusters, and they enjoy every Ghostbusters film afterwards. Because that is a level of dedication I cannot afford. I cannot bring myself to that. 42 from Italy. Okay. I thought my modular boxes out if it weren't for the potential resale value, and I bought them new. That's the other thing about it. Some of it is more of an investment than a necessity. That's why I was okay when I got the Parisian restaurant from Kevin, immediately thinking, okay, doesn't have the box with it, that's fine. The old fishing store, I broke down the tape, but I still have the box. The Simpsons house, same thing. I broke down the tape, it's flat. Let me see if I can. So my box for 50 flattened. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Christy leaving too, and William also left, and I saw Fluminug left earlier. Sorry, I missed you all. Favorite is Cafe Corner and Greengrocer, which makes me very sad. Greengrocer is pretty cool. It's not one that I'm dying to have, but it still looks really nice. I do appreciate that. Cafe Corner I really only own for the merit that it was the first. It does have some cool parts to it, but I don't remember a lot of the inside. I just haven't looked at it in a while. Rise Bell, welcome to the stream for the little bit. Sorry, I missed you there, buddy. But yeah, we were just reminiscing about modulars and why I barely touched them. All right, I'm going to head out. I'm going to get myself some dinner as well. Have yourself a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me for the streams today. And I will catch you over on the Instagram pretty soon for the photo of the new shelf layout. I don't even know if it's worth doing a video for it. I didn't really do that before, though. And I did already just talk about it on video, technically, with a stream. And there's also some things out of place. There's a whole bunch of homers. One that might just be a head. It doesn't even have a whole body. There's an alien commander from Alien Conquest. There is part of a train locomotive. They're all in front of the Simpsons house. At least the alien one kind of works. And there's also a truck sitting on the roof. It's great. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.